Right now, I want to welcome to the program the author of the brand new book, Taking Aim, is with us. Eva Shockey, daring to be different, happier, and healthier in the great outdoors. Eva, how are you today?
I'm great, thanks. How are you doing?
I am excellent. I appreciate you coming on the program. And I got to tell you, there's some high praise here for Taking Aim. You got some good blurbs. I mean, Cameron Haynes, Willie Robertson, Justin Moore. Holy cow. Seems like everybody who picks up this book really is enjoying it.
But yeah, thank you. It was amazing to have those wonderful people write something about it on there. And just since it's gone on sale, I've already got messages and stuff, people saying they were in tears because they could relate so much to it. And it makes me so excited to finally have all these stories that I've been working so hard on get out there for the public and get other people to get their feedback. And I mean, so far, so good.
Well, yes. I mean, you're. I just saw a couple of hours ago you had tweeted you're within the top 1,000 books on Amazon. I think number 536, which is fantastic. You had your first book signing in North Carolina. How'd that go?
It was amazingly busy. It was in Garner, North Carolina at the Cabela's here. And I brought my husband along and I said, we'll just be there for about 20 minutes. I mean, it's the first one. We'll sign a couple books. I'm sure there'll be a handful of people. We'll come home for dinner. We were there for 3.5 hours. It was a lineup all the way through Cabela's. Everyone had my book. And I mean, it's kind of shocking because being a first time writer and writing my very first novel, to see people actually holding it and having said they read it and having said they like the stories. I mean, it's kind of shocking because it's a new genre of sort of what I've been doing. And I mean, I love it. It's amazing to have so many people share my life with me.
Well, and again, I mean, you were on TV. A lot of us, have followed you for a number of years. You are a huge presence on social media. But as you say, writing a book is a little bit different. And putting this stuff down on paper, for whatever reason, sometimes it can be a little more daunting than talking into a television camera or, posting something on social media. So when you decided that you were going to write this book, what did you want to accomplish with it? What was it that you wanted people to know that they couldn't get from watching you on TV or from following you on social media?
Writing a book is a lot more in-depth. It's obviously a lot longer than little short snippets on Instagram and whatever. And I mean, I do find that I love social media. I appreciate it. And for what it is, it's wonderful. But it really is little tiny snippets sort of the highlight reel is what a lot of people say. And it's true because that's what it is. And people, I think, that see us on there, that follow us or watch our TV show, they think that every time you go into the woods, you're going to get a deer, or every time, you try something, you're going to succeed. And that's absolutely not true. And the book really highlights how you really have to push through those obstacles. You're going to fail. You're going to get sent backwards or sideways from the direction you wanted to go. But the point is to keep going forward, sometimes you move sideways a step and then you move forward and then you move the other direction and move forward. But I want to encourage people that whatever it is that their goal is or their dream or their passion, to just follow that regardless of what other people are saying, or if people think maybe you shouldn't do it because you're a girl or a boy or because you're too young or too old. I mean, it's not their right to tell you. You believe, you have to follow whatever you believe in and just go for it.
And I love the format of this book. I got to tell you, the title, Taking Aim, Daring to be Different, Happier, and Healthier in the Great Outdoors. And there are lessons that can be taken from this book. But this is not like your standard self-help book about, okay, here's a list of things that you can do to change your life, right? I mean, you are telling stories, and every chapter starts with a different quote. The first chapter, My Normal, John Shedd, a ship is always safe at the shore, but that's not what it is built for. And so you've got, how did you decide to try to organize this book? And how was it that you went, I mean, did you just kind of go back through that middle Rolodex of, and then this happened, and yeah, that would work out here, because you did a great job of tying in these ideals and these principles and the way of life with, again, some really compelling stories from your personal experiences.
Thank you. That was really difficult, actually. We did shuffle it around a few different times because we were trying to make the most sense for everybody. So some of it's chronological and some of it is more just lessons sort of on the way. But I think the most important part, it's not me in the book saying, I'm so smart, I know everything, I'm only 29. I know that I don't know everything by any means, but I do know that I wish there were things I knew when I was a young girl that I know now, like the confidence to go out and realize that I can be classy and feminine and a lady, but also love to wear camo and go in the woods and hunt a deer. And love that there's young people now that can hear that, or not even young people, anyone really, that just have obstacles or they feel like they're too insecure to step forward and try hunting for the first time. And the other thing about this book, it's not even just for hunters. I mean, there's, like you're saying, there's a lot of stories related to hunting, so I think they'll appreciate that. But it's for people that don't hunt or that are maybe interested in the outdoors and really want to open their mind to it. Or I even say, if you think you don't like hunting, pick up the book, because it really will walk you through what hunters are doing and why we think hunting is such a good thing. And I don't imagine you're going to read it and then still be against hunting.
Well, I wasn't against hunting to begin with, so yeah, I might be a biased audience there, but I certainly didn't walk away saying, "Oh, those rotten hunters." No, I think you do a great job of talking about why people hunt, but also, as you say, giving people permission to try this, right? If they're interested, don't listen to the anti-hunting activists who say you're a bad person. Don't listen to the people who say, "Oh, you've never done that before. Well, you'll hurt yourself." This is. I think that hunters are a very welcoming community, and when they hear about somebody who is interested, they jump on that as an opportunity to actually show somebody what hunting is all about and what a great experience it can be.
Mm-hmm. And I try to get that across as many times as I can, because hunting is so much broader than I think just the stereotypical go out, get an animal, and you're done. It's so much more than that. It's about family. It's about unplugging and getting away from everything that is in our face these days. And we're all guilty of being stuck on our phones and our computers and all that. And it's about getting out there, enjoying nature, enjoying the outdoors. And a big part of it, which is why I started in the first place, was just to fill my freezer. I want to know where my meat comes from. I want to put the healthiest, leanest, most pesticide-free organic meat into my body and my family's body. So I want to go hunt for it. I mean, that's really how you have to do it if you want to connect those two dots between the steak you're eating at the table and the animal it came from. You have to go get it yourself. And that's how I started hunting years ago. And now that I'm a mom and a wife, I believe even stronger in that theory, just because I want to know what my family's eating and stay as healthy as we possibly can. And the book kind of walks you through all the different elements of what hunting's all about.
You also talk about the grief that you've gotten from anti-hunting activists. I mean, you say around the end of 2010 on social media, anti-hunters started posting pictures of you on their websites. All of a sudden, you say the comments became a lot more personal. I can't read some of the comments here because this is family-friendly radio that you were receiving.
Exactly.
You said that anti-hunting hatred would leak onto your Facebook page. Your friends and supporters would stick up for you, fend off the negativity. In a few days, you say it would be old news. The anti-hunters would leave you alone for a little bit, but then a few weeks later, the same thing would happen again. And you say the cycle continues to this day. So I'm curious, how do you choose to deal with this, knowing that the people who are coming after you and they're attacking you, they're not interested in a conversation, right? Yeah, there's no change in their mind. But do you view that as an opportunity to reach out to people who may see the attacks on you, aren't participating in the attacks on you, but are sort of watching? Are you responding to those onlookers instead of responding to the anti-hunting activists?
I definitely am. I've dealt with the anti-hunters and the hatred since I started about 10 years ago. My dad sat me down and said, if you're going to start hunting, you just have to realize you have a name of the hunting industry that people are going to jump onto because you're a female, you like to hunt, your father is a big hunter. People will just notice that, and you're going to get hatred and negativity and all that. And I said, okay, I can deal with that. But over the years, it's really increased and increased and increased. And in the book, there's a whole chapter on it. And it's not a chapter to say, oh, poor me, feel bad for me. It's the complete opposite of that. It's encouraging people that if you're a hunter, you might have to deal with negativity because for whatever reason, it is sort of a controversial thing in the world these days. But what you can do is listed in this chapter. It's being proud of what we do, telling people that hunters are the biggest conservationists in the world. I mean, we bring $1.6 billion a year to conservation programs on the planet. Can you imagine any other group in the world doing that? I mean, you can't argue with those stats. And I really try, when you are getting negativity towards you about hunting, in my heart, I know I'm doing what's right. I know all the other hunters are doing what's right. So I just focus on the positive message that I'm able to get across on the platforms I have. I mean, the negativity that comes at me is I think just because people are not familiar with all the good that hunting is about. And so the more I can talk about it and the more I can promote it and educate people about what hunters are doing that's so positive, I think the more minds you'll probably turn. And some of them never will, but at that point, you just kind of have to ignore them and focus on the other messages.
Absolutely. Again, the book is Taking Aim, Daring to be Different, Happier, and Healthier in the Great Outdoors. Eva Shockey, thank you so much for coming on the program. It's great talking with you today. We wish you all the success in the world with this book.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You bet. We'll talk soon. Eva Shockey joining us here on Cam & Company.